All right, guys. Well, if you're a big fan of that white aesthetic, you want to build maybe a panda build, maybe a snow white build, maybe an avalanche build. I don't know what you want to call it. Um,
Avalanche would be a good name for it.
I actually had a PC named Yeti. My only white PC I named Yeti, which has
Perfect.
some avalanche Eddie. You could go with Wampa if you prefer. Um,
I was gonna say, should have called it Wampa.
I did allude to the fact that there is a desk mat to go with it. We have this new desk mat. Whitson, what do you think?
I love it. Okay, so as someone who owns 4 ROG mouse pads for some reason, this is dope. I love the slash, very like reminiscent of kind of like the Zephyrus line and stuff. This one's gray, not white, but so this is our we didn't unbox this one because Jake is using this as his unboxing canvas.
Yes.
But this is our ROG Scabbard 2 XXL desk mat.
It's so large.
Really cool looking. Comes with it's made of a durable fabric with like a tri-protective coating, so it's like water repellent, oil repellent, dust repellent. It's got anti-fray stitching around the edges. So the idea is that hopefully it can stay looking pristine as long as possible, and it will be a perfect backdrop for all of your white peripherals if you're building a full white battle station.
I'm gonna be honest though, like as a guy with black peripherals, I kind of like the pop of my keyboard on this, right?
I actually agree. I've had the same thought before because I used to have a fully black desk mat and my
Right.
black keyboard and mouse just kind of like
Blended
blended into
in.
it.
Yeah.
So I got a lighter gray one, and like this actually would really, make those pop. So I actually like this mouse mat, whether you have a white or a black setup. I think it's pretty cool.
Like my desk mat, which is basically just the black version of this, is a few years old and it's in great condition. It's had some coffee scars over the years, but anyways, yeah, loving the look of that. All right, what should we go with next? You get to pick.
Okay. I think we should start. I'm just going to go in the order that I have it. Let's do the Delta II Moonlight White.
Okay.
That'll be a quick one, and then we'll dig into the Azoth X, which I think is the most exciting one today. This is the Delta II Moonlight White. This one, you guys have seen the Delta II before. Jake and I are both wearing them right now. We've been wearing them for coming up on a year now. This is our flagship headset right now. It's an incredibly balanced sound signature based on the Harman curve. So a big upgrade over not just our own headsets, but a lot of the gaming headsets that you have probably heard in the past. Sounds excellent, crazy comfortable, similar to our headsets in the past. I love like the triangle design of the ear cups. The ear pads are just, I usually don't like leather ear pads, but I love these ones. They are just so plush, but I believe it comes with fabric ear pads as well. So you can decide which ones you want to use if you prefer the feel of the fabric ones. The other big improvement is the boom mic, which might be in that box somewhere. I don't use it for stream because I have the Carnix, but the boom mic that comes with the Delta, again, a huge upgrade over pretty much every other headset mic that I've used, including our previous Delta headset mics. It's got a big, like 80 millimeter wideband condenser capsule in here. It picks up a lot more of that vocal range than a lot of typical headset mics. So your voice sounds a lot fuller, a lot more like you're speaking through a microphone and not like a tin can. Sounds really great. So that's that, and the comfort are my two favorite parts of this headphone. And of course, now we have it in a Moonlight White version.
Just a couple other things. Just want to point out, you got a nice long USB-A cable here, which has a C end and then the adapter included, which is all nice in the Moonlight White. So you don't have to. Most of these adapters are black, right? So that would look kind of goofy, but that we got you covered with that here. And this does have aux. So if you're an aux user like myself, you do lose RGB when you use aux instead, but I use an audio interface, so aux cables are my friend, and I'm super stoked to see us including that in one of our.
It's also nice. So like you could totally use it. So then it has a USB-C dongle right there. I think that
right here. That's
this uses the same like low latency ROG Speednova wireless tech as a lot of our new peripherals. But so I would use that in my computer. But then if you're on the road and you have something that doesn't use USB-C or whatever, you could totally plug it in with that 3.5 millimeter cable for that. But it also has Bluetooth built in, which is nice. So the Bluetooth in particular is really cool because you can get audio from two devices at the same time using our dual flow audio feature. So like you could listen to music, but also be playing a game or chatting with your friends or whatever,
be
just
in
all
a-
at the same time from different
Be in
sources.
a work meeting and listening to your game audio, right? All these options.
I've never done that before in my life. What are you talking about? I am a good worker bee. Okay, so that is the Delta II White. Again, I kind of figured we'd just do that one briefly since we have a whole episode on the Delta II headset from earlier this year. You guys can go check that out. This is the same thing, everything that you love about the Delta II in a white variant. However, the next two peripherals we're going to unbox are a little bit different from their non-white counterparts. Let's skip that one. Let's do the keyboard. Okay. I want to do the keyboard. The 75% ROG Azoth and the Azoth Extreme, its higher end counterpart, are not just the best keyboards we've ever made, but they're some of the best gaming keyboards on the market. They have this super premium build with an aluminum top case, multiple layers of dampening materials, a small OLED screen in the corner with lots of functionality. But we didn't have a white version. And now we do.
So I just want to say, I wasn't even in tune with this coming out until I got it. Right.
You got it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't usually lean towards white peripherals, but this keyboard is so gorgeous. Really I like the accents. I like that we get, this, almost retro wave colors, these keys, the pink on this, the gradient from pink to blue. Oh my God. I love this keyboard. This is really...
We wanted to do something a little different with this one.
Dude, I am a numpad user. And I am, every fiber in my body is like, oh God, I have to learn to abandon the numpad because this keyboard is so gorgeous.
Just need a separate numpad.
Dude, I'm actually about to, I could just actually program my Stream Deck to work for what I do because I use it for.
There are plenty of these floating around. You could just grab one of these.
I'm about to do that because this is the most beautiful keyboard I've ever seen.
It's really nice. So this is not just a white version of the Azoth. Obviously, you can see we've made some changes to the new keycaps, right? So these have a really standout design. It's this keyboard kind of becomes the centerpiece of your setup if you use it as it should be, right?
Look at it. Oh my God.
I know. So these keycaps are dye sublimated, so the legends won't rub off easily. And the sides, if you look, I don't know if you can plug it in so we can see the lighting because the lighting is really unique on this.
Charged it. Oh my God.
Well, you can just plug it in. The sides there you go. There's always a little battery in there. So the sides of the keycap are transparent. It's just like the top that's the dye sublimated part. So the light shines through the sides of all the keycaps for this really unique look, right?
Holy balls.
Yeah, it's super cool. It fits in well with the white color scheme to have that bit of extra like transparency on the lights, I think. Underneath, you'll find our new upgraded ROG NX Snow and NX Storm V2 switches. They have the same kind of pre-lubed feel. The Storm and the Snow have always been really nice. They were a big upgrade to the switches we used to use, in my opinion. I think the Snows, if you like linears, are just so buttery smooth, and the Storms have that really nice click.
These feel like avalanches and tsunamis, if you ask me. They feel good.
But these versions, the V2 versions, have improved stability and protection against dust intrusion. So just a nice little upgrade there.
Nice.
Now, we know that some of you may want to replace these switches and keycaps with your own. That is kind of one of the big things. We wanted to make this really cool design for people who wanted a really, this specific design. We thought they'd like it, but you can swap these out for your own custom keycaps and switches like that. The Azoth was designed to be very moddable, very DIY friendly. But one big piece of feedback that we got from the keyboard community with the first model was that you guys wanted a south-facing PCB layout to better fit custom cherry profile keycaps, which sometimes have that shorter, that lower profile. They're a little bit shorter in stature. And sometimes with north-facing PCBs, they can bump into stuff. So we incorporated a south-facing PCB layout on the Azoth X for you guys. So it should be even more friendly to modding than ever before. And of course, you still got that OLED screen right there.
Yeah.
That's a cool animation. I haven't seen that one. So same OLED screen. You got that 3-way control knob on the right side of it that you can use to adjust the lighting effects or change the animation on the OLED screen. I think you can adjust your music with it, stuff like that. And of course, it uses the same 2.4 gigahertz ROG SpeedNova wireless connection we just talked about, so very low latency, but wireless, comes with that great tiny dongle.
I know my
But
fat
of course,
sausage
you can plug
fingers.
it in if you want. It also has Bluetooth. If you're bringing it with you on the go and you don't want to bring the dongle, you could just hook it up via Bluetooth to any machine that supports that as well. Something else that's cool about this, and I don't know if you actually know about this, Jake, because we've never really talked about it on this show. So, if you want to use all of the different functions of this keyboard, obviously we have our Armory Crate software, which we recently detailed. We've updated it. It's a lot lighter in resources. It's modular, so you can download only the features that you want. But it's great if you have a lot of ROG stuff because you can kind of adjust all of the functionality from that one piece of software. However, if you only have a couple ROG peripherals, like you just have this keyboard, right? Or you just have a keyboard and mouse, but you don't have a ton of other ROG stuff, you may not want that full Armory Crate software. I think last year we introduced a smaller piece of software called Armory Crate Gear. It's this really minimal, like super compact version of Armory Crate that just handles like the peripherals. Like it supports a number of our newer peripherals. And it gives you like, you can update the firmware, you can customize the buttons or whatever functionality would be built into Armory Crate. It's that, but kind of compressed down into just this one little app for your mice, keyboard, whatever it is that you have plugged in.
That's cool.
It's cool. We've now taken this even further with the Azoth S. The Azoth X, this keyboard, is the first device to support a new web app called Armory Crate Gear Link. So now you don't need to install anything to customize your keyboard with the functions that we would usually put in Armory Crate. You can just go to this web app and do it all straight from your browser. Now, Armory Crate still has a little bit more functionality than Gear Link currently, but we're working on bringing a lot of those features over to the new web app. So you should see an update with more and more stuff over time. Very cool feature of this keyboard. Is that a wrist rest?
It is. It is a wrist rest, and it's different than any wrist rest that we've made that I've ever felt. Usually they're like,
I didn't know about this.
Cloth, right? Usually they're like a foam padded, but this is rubber. This is like silicone. And I can dig it. Like this is very
a little bit. It's like maybe a little bit more cushiony than some of the kind of harder plastic ones.
Yeah, it's soft, but
may like.
I like it actually.
It's like a purple mattress.
Like I don't really use a lot of wrist rest myself.
I'm not a big wrist rest guy myself either. But I know a lot of people are, so that's a nice inclusion.
Not moving. Cool.
FCN Link is asking, what's the name of this keyboard? Is it on your website? This is the ROG Azoth X. You will find links to this in the description of this video once it's up. These devices are not on shelf just yet, but they will be soon.
Soon TM.
Soon TM.
Dude, I'm head over heels for this keyboard.
It's a really cool design. When I first saw it, I was like, whoa, that was not what I was expecting when they said we were getting a white upgraded Azoth. It's really cool. Because if you want just like regular white keycaps, like you can get those. Those are everywhere.
Yeah, but
These are something special.
I love the transparent sides, and that is a really nice
they're kind of pudding style almost, but still different.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Finally, we have the ROG Keris II Origin mouse. You guys might remember our ROG Keris line of mice. Last year's Keris II Ace was one of our best, like ultralight esports focused mice, built in collaboration with pro FPS gamers, all that good stuff. The ROG Keris II Ace is still around. It's 54 grams. That is like if you want the ultralight, like esport mouse to beat, except for maybe the Heartbase Extreme, which is like the lightest mouse we have. The Keris II Ace is a little bit more accessible than the Heartbase Extreme. This model is a little bit different. It's still esports focused, still light, but it's 65 grams instead of 54 because we added a few more features to it. So if you like the idea of a light esports focused mice, but you don't want to give up some of the features of a more typical kind of gaming mouse, like the Gladius here that I have, This kind of walks that line a bit more. So first, it uses our ROG push fit socket design for its switches. So you could open up this mouth and pop in new switches, new micro switches for it. If you want a different click feel, or if you need to replace a malfunctioning switch or anything like that, no soldering required, just open it up, pop in a new switch. That's a really nice feature for mice. And I know some people that like now, once we introduce that, they're like, I'm never buying a mouse without this feature. Here you go. It also has 3-zone RGB. It has more RGB than the other Keris II Ace. So if that's something that's important to you, you want something that shines with your setup, you're putting it next to an Azoth X and you're like, it's got to keep up in the RGB department, it's got that as well. Otherwise, it's got the same ROG Aimpoint Pro optical sensor as the other Keris II Ace, maximum sensitivity of 42,000 DPI. It's compatible with our ROG polling rate booster, so you can get up to an 8,000 hertz polling rate. ROG Speed Nova wireless tech, like we mentioned, super low latency wireless, all that good stuff. Great mouse if you primarily play FPS or esports games, but you want some of those extra features that a lot of pro mice strip out for a lower weight. No, random guy, this is live. We're just talking about these right now. We try to get to questions after the main topic because we do cut this down for YouTube later. So
yeah, we're pretty focused on just unboxing and talking about the things we're unboxing.
I want to get too off topic because then people have to scrub through an hour-long stream looking for the info on the
stickers.
I have so many of those stickers now from all the gear.
Dude, same.
I love our stickers.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. It feels good. I like was so
Jake's a little spoiled because he's had the Harp Ace Extreme, which is like the lightest, most pro esports mouse that we have.
But this feels great. I actually like the body shape of this a lot, and you know the weight difference is noticeable, but the Harp Ace Extreme is also insane.
Yeah, the Harp Ace Extreme is I mean, that's like one of the lightest mouse I've ever held. This one.
Yeah. It is the
difference between this and the Keris II Ace is going to be a little bit more subtle, the weight difference. But again, like even a subtle weight difference, if you're a hardcore esports gamer, you might want the Keris II Ace. That's totally fine. If you are, you really like shooter games, but you want some of those extra features like that push fit socket, which is really nice to have. That extra couple of grams is worth the trade-off for some of the extra features you use.
How good they look together.
They do look good. And all on that Arctic gray desk mat. It's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So, like I mentioned, guys, all of these products should be on shelf soon. Check your local ROG site and your local retailers to see where they'll be available. It does differ from region to region. So you'll just kind of have to keep an eye on socials too, your local social accounts. There should be local Asus and social accounts for different countries. To see even more awesome ROG gear, follow and subscribe right here to the ROG Twitch and YouTube channels. We do this show, ROG Pulse, every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. If you're watching this after the fact, this is actually not the full show. Like I said, we cut down the video to include just the main topics so you aren't scrubbing through an hour-long stream. But if you watch live, we do so much other stuff. We talk about games. We give stuff away. You can get points for your ROG Elite account. So subscribe, and then you can join us live to see the full stream, get all of that stuff. Jake also streams games every week, right?
I do.
Yep. We've been giving away a lot of Last of Us 2 keys lately.
Yeah.
If you want to watch that live.
We've got Paradise Agency something. The name is so bizarre. But
Mascot Agency.
Yes, thank you. Mascot
Agency.
Yeah. Anyways, giving away keys for that tomorrow. Very excited.
Yep. So you can tune into that usually Tuesdays and Fridays, but if you subscribe, you'll always see our streams before they happen. And he's always streaming with different ROG gear. He's got a custom built desktop with a lot of the latest stuff, including an Astral 5080 right now, but we're hoping to get a Strix Scar to him soon that he can game on. Otherwise, join us live to see the full streams. Check out our Discord to connect with the community. Stay up to date in the latest news and announcements. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.